Christopher Newport is making their way to the press conference room for the postgame press conference. The locker room is now open until 1:44 p.m. As a reminder, please make sure your cell phones are on silent. Please raise your hand, and when called upon, please state your name and affiliation. There are wireless microphones on each side of the room. Please wait for the microphone to reach you before stating your question. For those joining us remotely, please use the raise hand function to indicate that you would like to ask a question. When you are called on for your question, please unmute your line and state your name and affiliation. Good afternoon.
Good, how are you?
Good, thank you. We're going to start with an opening statement from Coach and follow with questions for the student athletes. The student athletes will then be dismissed, and then we'll open up those questions for Coach.
Just want to start off by congratulating Transylvania. They played a great game today. Really did what they needed to do down the stretch to win the national championship. So I give Coach Folks and her staff and all of her players a lot of credit. Also want to really thank the NCAA and City of Dallas for everything. Everything has been first class. We've really, really enjoyed our experience here so far. I know we're not done yet, but just want to thank them for everything. Also, just want to say that I'm extremely proud of my group. I think we fought and competed through a lot of adversity this year, and we didn't stop fighting until the final buzzer went off. Obviously, the score didn't go the way we wanted it this time, but it doesn't make me any less proud of this group of 17 young ladies that gave me and their fans and their family and the school everything they had this year. And so just really, really proud of them. Wish we were national champs, but you know what? National runner-up, that's pretty good too. And so really, really proud of them. Really want to thank, publicly thank our two graduates, Andra Fan and Lauren Fortescue, for all that they've done this year. They're going to be missed badly. But we know they'll be around the program, and so just really appreciate them for everything that they've done for us.
At this time, we'll open up questions for student athletes. As a reminder, please raise your hand and wait till the microphone reaches you before stating your name and affiliation. To our back and to our left, back row.
Yes, this is Melanie Robotham. For all the student athletes, just talk about obviously what an incredible memorial season you had, to end it, in Dallas at the national championship. Obviously not the result you wanted, but just talk about your season and the experience.
Can we start with Lauren?
Yeah, first off, I would just like to thank Coach B for bringing me here. I'm a transfer, so I'm just really blessed for the opportunity. The girls were just so welcoming as soon as I got to the school, and the memories that we made, I'm forever grateful for that. And just this experience in general, I never really thought I'd be here, and then it's actually happening, and it was a great experience. Obviously not the result, but I think all season we worked hard together, and I made best friends throughout this journey, and I'm really thankful for that. And thankful for Coach B for letting me play here and the girls for welcoming me.
And Gabby?
Yeah, I mean, just really, really proud of, our team. I think every single game in the NCAA tournament was just a battle for us, especially doing it without two senior starters who are a big part of what we do. So to get to this game was something that, I'm incredibly proud of them for. And I think we've continued to show a lot of resilience, especially in that second half. I feel like, we really left everything that we had out there. And, unfortunately, the score didn't end up in our favor. But I am genuinely just very proud of, our people. We're losing these two up here, which is extremely tough, but we're returning everybody else. And I think that that's something that, we should be excited about. This experience has been unreal. And I think, what I'm thinking about now is just how hard it is to play at this caliber, to get all the way here and to win the whole thing. And, it motivates me. I already know the things that I've got to work on for next season. And, I'm excited to be able to come back. And I'm just proud of, what our group was able to pull together.
Just first, I'm just very grateful to be here. Like Gabby said, we had to fight through adversity throughout the whole tournament, and we made it here, just not the turnout that we wanted after today's game. I'm just extremely grateful for CNU for giving me this opportunity, of course, Coach B. And, yeah, just proud of my team for fighting throughout the whole season. And, yeah.
We have a virtual question. Marty O'Brien, your line is now open and you are permitted to speak. Please unmute. Marty, are you there? Hearing none, we'll move back to the room.
Rob Silsby, Chris from Newport, obviously. Girls, you last week were down 12 in the second half. This week, down 13 in the second half. Can you talk about how you never seem to be out of a game? You never seem to be down on yourselves, and what it takes to come back from those big deficits in the second half?
Can we start with Sandra?
For me, it's our floor general, Gabby. She brings that energy and that confidence to us. And throughout the whole tournament, Gabby said, hey, we got this, and just walked us through it step by step, play by play. And, yeah, and for all my teammates to follow in on her and listen in.
I'd say, it's not me alone. I think we have some phenomenal leaders on this team who kind of help, foster that kind of energy. I think, especially watching, March Madness at the Division I level, no game is ever done until the last buzzer sounds. So I feel like, we're trying to play to a standard every single possession. And, we're trying to play to our principles and, have less breakdowns. And I think when you take it one possession at a time of doing what we should be doing and closing out and rotating and playing team defense and then executing our offenses, I think that, shrinks the lead down in our head to just try and take it one bucket and one stop at a time.
Yeah, what I like about this team is that we can recognize, what we're not doing good. And again, Gabby and others and Sani vocalize that, and then we go out and make those adjustments. And, tonight we couldn't catch back up all the way, but we were chipping away at it. And what I really love about this team is that we do never give up, and we just motivate each other, and we give each other that confidence to get back into it.
Corey Hogue with Dave Campbell's Texas Basketball. Ladies, it's a new arena, and it's a bigger place than you're used to. How much did depth perception play a role in the shooting out there today?
We'll start with Gabby.
Honestly, I think it's, obviously different. I think we're a little bit lucky that our home court at home kind of has obviously not on the same level, but a similar kind of feel to an arena. And practicing at SMU kind of helped that a little bit. But at the end of the day, I think, if you're a shooter, you're going to catch and knock it down. And I don't think that was what was on our minds. I think we were just trying to focus on catching in rhythm and shooting with confidence and shooting open shots and, having good shot selection. But it was definitely a different feel. But I think, the experience of it was something that we're super thankful for.
And our next question is to the left.
J.C. Christian, ESPN's Landscape. Just with the game coming down to the wire, what did Coach B tell all of you guys to pretty much do? Like, what was the message to you guys?
Can we start with Lauren?
Yeah, during halftime, like I said, Coach B just recognized what we needed to do, and we did make those adjustments, and basically just go out because this is me and Sonny's last ride. You know, he said, stop being scared. You've been doing this your whole lives, so just go out and give it all that you have.
I think late in the game, a big focus of ours was just committing to our defense. You know, obviously our defense is all over the court, and it doesn't really work unless you have 5 people who are bought in and flying all over the place. So I think that was a big focus for us. We went into that 2-3 zone also, and we're just trying to scramble and get traps everywhere we could and just be pests and bother them and try and force some turnovers. Then offensively, you know, all game, it was really just about being aggressive, being confident. And, you know, we knew he had a ton of faith in each and every one of us to attack and get downhill and shoot open shots and stuff like that and to play loose. So, I mean, I think, you know, we haven't really changed much that we've done. I think a part of our identity is just playing hard for 40-plus minutes. And I think, you know, we tried to embody that late in the stretch, and it just unfortunately didn't turn out our way.
Any final questions for the student athletes? To our left.
Hi, Monet Heath, ESPN's Andscape. For Sandra and Lauren, with this being your last game as seniors, what did it mean to you to play women's basketball on a bigger platform, and what do you hope for the future of collegiate women's basketball?
We'll start with Sandra.
Yeah, this experience was absolutely amazing. Just being able to play on the same stage as Division I and Division II and going out there and doing the same thing this weekend was incredible and something I'll remember forever. I hope in the future that other women athletes get to experience the same thing I did this weekend.
Yeah, I agree with what Sandra said. It was a really cool experience to even meet the Division I and Division II girls. And what was really cool is we were kind of fangirling about them, but they basically said, like, we're college athletes just like you. And so I think that made us feel really good, too. And, yeah, just this experience in general. I'm sure Gabby and the team's going to learn from, you know, what happened tonight. And I have all the belief in the future teams of CNU. And, I'm just really thankful for it.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
No problem. Congratulations on a tremendous season.
Thank you.
You're welcome. At this time, we'll open up questions for Coach. Coach to our right.
Corey Hogue, Dave Campbell's Texas Basketball. Coach, what are some of the challenges and advantages of having 2 weeks between the semifinal and the final game here in Dallas?
Yeah, I think, you know, some of the challenges I don't think necessarily affected us. I think, you know, the challenge would be is if you're in a groove and things are going well, you want to keep playing and keep it going. I think for us that wasn't necessarily the case. With just having so many people out of our rotation and all of our injuries, we use that time to try to heal up and then try to, I guess, help teach some of the people that had to fill in, try to do some things, and then try to modify some things too. Try to give us some things because we weren't able to really do kind of what we've been doing all year with the numbers and who we didn't have. So it gave us some time to try to modify some things and do that. So so for us, I think it was a good thing. I don't think. That would be the only negative I would say. But, and I would say this too. I mean, I think even if we were at full strength and ready to go and all those other things, you may want to play it right away. But once you get a chance to be here and have your young ladies experience all that they've experienced since we've been here, I think that by far outweighs any time that you miss. And so. I would definitely, recommend that we keep doing that as much as we can.
I'm going to actually take a virtual question first, and then we'll come back to the room. Marty O'Brien, we're unmuting your line, and you are now permitted to speak.
Hey, Coach, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yeah, this is Marty with the Daily Press. First question I want to ask you, talk about Sandra Fahn. She hurt her foot early in the game. What happened there, and how much do you think it affected her?
Okay, yeah. Sandra, sprained her ankle early in the game. I think it definitely affected her mobility there. Took her a little while going. I think, eventually by the end of the fourth quarter, I think some adrenaline kind of kicked in. She was able to play a little bit better, but I think it definitely slowed her down. But, you didn't hear her talk about it. You won't hear me talk about it. It's just part of the game. You got to keep playing. It was her last game, and, she gave it everything she got. So that's all you can do.
We're going to go to the left in our front row.
Coach, same question I gave to the ladies. You guys erased big leads in both of the last two games. Really had a shot to win here today. Can you talk about what the team's mentality is and how you keep them locked in, even though you went down double digits? And then talk about the season as a whole and what a record-breaking year it was for Christian Newport.
Yeah, I mean, I think we know with our defense and the way we're able to turn people over and turn it into quick baskets that we feel like no lead is safe and that we can get back into any game. And so I think when you get down by that much, whether it was against Rhode Island or against Transy today, is just really focusing on one basket at a time and just keep trying to build on that. And so we just kept plugging away, and I think we were able to tie it up, I think at like 47 maybe. The hard part with that is so often is that, it took so much energy to get us back into the game. And without having a few people in our rotation, I think we just didn't really have the legs to kind of finish pushing through. So, I'm super proud of that fight. They never quit. They know I'll never quit on them, and so we go and we talk about give it everything we got, and then whatever the score is, and we'll be okay with that. And so as far as the season, man, I think it's still, everything's still kind of sinking in a little bit. But yeah, just super, super proud. It's been just been a special year with a special group. It's just they're just such a low maintenance group that works really, really hard, and it's fun. And I just to have an extra 2 weeks with them, I like it. I don't know if they did, but I know they liked being here. So yeah.
We'll take a question to our right.
Coach Gordon Mann, D3Hoops.com. I know you've talked a lot about the players. I was hoping you could talk a little bit about what this journey has meant for you. You built this team into a national title contender, 30-0, top in the country a couple of times. I know you now have a national recruiting profile. Noticed that from the introductions. What does this mean for you personally?
I don't know. I mean, I think I just, I pull so much joy from their joy. To be honest with you, it's been a really tough year, just personally, for me with some family members being sick and some people on our staff being sick, and so it's been a really tough year. And I think basketball is that one love that you can always go to that kind of helps kind of take you away from those things. So I think it's been a really good escape, I think, from a lot of things that have been going on. It's hard for me while I'm really, really happy for the team and all the young ladies that got to perform today. My heart breaks for Anaya Simmons. It breaks for Katie Rader bad. I mean, those two guys have put so much into it and have built. So, that really breaks my heart for them. But I think I just really pull my joy from them, and seeing them excited and seeing them excited in the skybox and, meeting their idols and those things. That's what brings me joy. That's what I do it for. Everyone knows I'm very competitive. When I'm on the court, I'm going to give it everything I got. But when that game is over, the game is over. And it's not that serious, win or lose. For me, it's all about the ladies, and they're the reason that I do this. And, we've got over 30, 40 alums that have traveled here. And, I mean, I've got so many text messages and emails and those things. That's what means the most for me. And to be able to share that with all of them and all the people that came before them is awesome. So I haven't made a shot or grabbed a rebound or, given an assist yet. So I owe everything to them. And I don't ever forget that I have a job and a career because of them. So I'm grateful for that opportunity.
We're going to take our final question. We're going to go back to Marty on via virtual. Marty, I have just unmuted your line again, and you are permitted to speak.
Coach, I wanted to ask you, at 51:49, with 13 or 14 seconds left, were you surprised that they called a shooting foul? And did that work out well for you anyway? Because you wanted to get them to the line with so few personals, but were you surprised by that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't think anything surprises me these days. I just kind of, go with whatever the call is, and if I'm not sure what it was, I'll ask for clarification, and then whatever their answer is, I just go with that, and we just keep playing. So, yeah, I mean, we knew whether it was a shooting foul or not, we needed to, be prepared and make the next play. So, I think that's all I was really thinking about when we talk about with the team is just next play mentality. And so, all it did was just change what we were going to do. But, yeah, it kind of goes the way it goes.
Thank you, Coach.
Good.
As a reminder, the CNU locker room is still open until 1:44 p.m. Appreciate your time. Safe travels back.
Thank you for everything.
No
You did
problem.
a great job.
Thank you. I appreciate it. A recording of this press conference as well as a written transcript will be available on the NCAA's digital hub at www.veritone.com. Did you get that change? Third player? Yep. Kennedy, Stacy?
Yes.
Yep. The website was www.ncaa.veritone.com. Transylvania is making their way to the press conference. Welcome to the D3 National Championship postgame press conference featuring the Transylvania Pioneers. We'll hear an opening statement from Coach Julie Folks and follow up with questions to student athletes Madison Killian, Daisha Thornton, and Kennedy Stacy. The student athletes will then be dismissed and we'll open up questions for Coach. As a reminder, please make sure your phones are on silent. Please raise your hand, and when called upon, please state your name and affiliation. There are wireless microphones on each side of the room. Please wait until those microphones reach you before stating your questions. For those joining us remotely, as a reminder, please use the raise hand function to indicate you would like to ask a question. When you are called on for your question, please unmute your line and state your name and affiliation. You're welcome. No problem. Good afternoon. All right, we're going to start with that opening statement from Coach. Congratulations.
Thank you. Well, I am super excited for this team, and a few days ago when we were here, we talked about starting and ending the season in Texas and trying to do that in the perfect way. And so it is absolutely awesome that they could do that. One of the things that they all brought up here with them, you guys can show them, they all brought up their dream cards. And so last May when we sat down and talked about what our goals were for the upcoming year and a bunch of different things, they all have one of these and it says national championship on every one of them. And I don't know, right or wrong, we pulled it out before the game. So we took the court, and I think everybody was crying. But I'm just so proud of them to watch a group do everything it takes all summer and the off season to stay together as a group, work through all the adversity, and then come out on top and undefeated. You know, we never could be ranked number one this year. And we kind of joked about it, and we just said we wanted to be number one at the end. So we're really proud of them for doing that and everything that took along the way.
At this time, we'll field questions to the student athletes. As a reminder, please raise your hand and state your name and affiliation. Ladies to our left.
JC Christian, ESPN's Anscape. You guys made those cards sometime last year. So what does it mean to actually be here and to actually pull it off as national champions?
We'll start with Madison.
I mean, it means the world to us to actually see a dream come to fruition and to see all our hard work pay off. It's something we've talked about all year, and it's never been out of our minds. It's always been brought up. I mean, nearly every day in practice, we're talking about our goal, and we did everything we could to reach it, and we're really proud of this team that we were able to pull it off.
And Daisha?
Yeah, at the beginning of the year, we said that we wanted to win a national championship, and we just kept that goal in mind the whole time, and there was really no doubt pretty much the whole time. So we're just glad that we pulled it off.
And Kennedy?
Yeah, so the whole year we've had two mottos, really, join the journey and Texas to Texas, and I think it's crazy to be here right now.
We're going to stay to our left. Ladies?
Howard Magdal at the Next. Congratulations to all of you. Madison, this one's specifically for you. I'm wondering if you were able to envision this dating back to your freshman year when you went through so much with the ACL, with all, with all the illnesses, and whether you flash back to that time as you've been celebrating here this afternoon.
Yeah, I mean, I actually told Kennedy in the locker room, I was like, did you ever dream of this when we stepped foot on campus 4 years ago? But, I mean, even when I committed to the program, I knew they were growing and it was a strong program, and at that point it wasn't a national championship level program, but our senior class has really done well of putting that program on the map nationally. And I mean, especially, I agree, like myself, after everything I've battled and went through my freshman year and up until this point, it's the best way you could ever cap off a career, and I'm super thankful that I got to be a part of it.
We're staying to our left-hand side with second row.
Cameron Drummond with the Lexington Herald Leader. Congratulations on winning the title. You guys hadn't played, a ton of close games this season in terms of final score-wise, and I think there was a minute 40 left. Game was tied. You guys broke your timeout early, and it was just you three as part of the huddle with Julie coming over. So I was just curious, in that moment, what were you guys talking about and leaning on to see out a close game with all this on the line?
I don't actually quite remember the exact words, but it was probably something along the lines of just take it one possession at a time. We still have time. As long as we get a stop, we'll be able to play off of that and use our offense and make sure that we rebound. That's all I heard.
Yeah, and we also talked about anytime we've ever been in a close game along our careers, we've always said, like, we're not losing this game, and we stuck by that, and we used that to drive us, and we talked about that they don't get any more rebounds the rest of this game. We knew that was what was going to propel us to finish the game and get the win.
Yeah, while we've not been in close games this year, we've always prepared for that in practice. Like, they make us play 5-on-5 and what ifs. Like, it's always the what ifs. So we always go through those scenarios, and we know what we're going to do when it happens.
We're going to shift to our right.
Corey Hogue, Dave Campbell's Texas Basketball. Inside American Airlines Center, what are some of the challenges you guys face as players and as shooters inside an arena this large?
I think it was kind of a culture shock to all of us. We've never really played in a big arena like that, and so getting used to it, we spent our whole practice here 2 days ago just shooting and getting used to the backdrop where there isn't walls around and all that, like our gym back home. It took a second to adjust, but I think we really relied on pushing it in the paint because layups are a lot easier in a big gym.
Back to our right.
Kathleen Geyer with the Next. Deja, you talked about rebounds, and then you pulled down that really critical one at the end of the game. You also hit the last layup. What was kind of going through your mind in that last minute, and then what does it mean to you to bring back this title and the first appearance for the program?
Yeah,
I was probably thinking, like, hopefully I don't cramp, Grabbing that rebound, I just didn't want to cramp up. But, I got the rebound, got it out to Maddie or Kennedy, and we could make something happen with that. And I don't really think of any rebounds as special or not. I just go for the rebound because it's in my area. It's something I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to dominate. So that's what I did.
At this time, we're going to take a virtual question. Caroline, I've just unmuted your line. You are now available to talk. Please unmute your line.
Okay, got it. Sorry. Caroline Mikowskis with the Lexington Herald Leader. You guys held Sandra Fan to 0 in the first half, 6 overall. Can you talk about the approach for, planning to contain an explosive player like that?
Can we start with Kennedy?
Yeah, so we've had a couple players this year where we've had to be lockdown defense on them, and I think it's really helped us. Those people were within our conference, so we've practiced a lot for those games and those people, so we knew what to do whenever she was on the three-point line. We had to be close.
And I think also the games in the tournament leading up to this, we played a lot of really good players and a lot of All-Americans. And so having that under our belt and knowing how we needed to guard them in order to win, it was good for us. And we pulled the same game plan tonight.
We'll now take a question to our left.
JC Christian here, ESPN's Anscape. Deja, this one's just for you. With achieving this goal and winning a national championship within a year's time, how does this affect your confidence for running for president later in your life?
It feels great, something that I could add onto my resume. I don't think really any other presidents played sports that we know of at the collegiate level. So it's just something that I can add to my resume as well.
We're going to go to our right, second row.
Thank you. Gordon Mann from D3Hoops.com. Can each one of you talk a little bit about what it's been like to play for Coach Folks? She's one of the most serene coaches I've ever seen on the sideline. Does that carry through to the practices as well?
Let's start with Deja, and then we'll go to Madison, and then lastly, Kennedy.
Yeah, it's been great playing for her for 4 years. Like, she knows our best interests. She tries to develop us into becoming the players that we are today. And, it definitely took some time for me personally. Freshman, sophomore year, I didn't have as many minutes, but I knew I could step up and step up to the bar, step up to the plate, or whatever it's called. And so we did, and she trusts us. She's definitely worked with us, not just on the court, but off the court, and made me become a better person overall.
She is the most amazing coach I've ever played for. I mean, she's a great role model, and she's there for us on the court, off the court. And I mean, just the effect she's had on each of our lives is something we're always going to remember. And I know we can call her anytime when we're done here, and she'll pick up the phone. And as far as her coaching goes, I think she's really skilled in knowing what each player needs, and she changes her coaching style to that, and she fits each of us, and she'll do it in practice. She does it in games. So even when she's calm on the sidelines, if she needs to rip someone in timeout, she's not afraid to do it.
I want to say that I'm grateful that she has bought into me as a person and as a player. She's learned to trust me, and I've learned to trust her, and I think that's a big thing with me. She's a great coach, and it follows on and off the court.
And we're going to take our last question for the student athletes to our left.
Hi, Monet Heath, ESPN's Anscape. The arena was very electric, so what did it mean to have those fans come out to Dallas to help support you all today?
We'll start with Kennedy.
It means the world. I mean, I never imagined that we would have this many people here in Texas with us right now. It's always a big deal in the Beck Center back home, but I mean, it was crazy to walk through the red carpet today with hundreds of people here for us.
Yeah, we had a really big support from back home, and our volleyball team came down and supported us, and we're super grateful for that. And a lot of other student athletes made the trip as well, and the show out from our parents and our community, and even people from our lives like back home made the trip. And it was super special for us to look up in the stands and see them there and support us, because they've been there every step of the journey. So the championship is also like a piece of theirs, because they've been there for us all along the ride.
Yeah, we thought a lot of people traveled with us to Connecticut in the Final Four, but coming to Dallas and seeing all the people that came, it's just amazing. Like, I never thought that we could be here, and all of our fans they traveled really well with us, and we just appreciate them for being there every step of the way.
Thank you again, ladies, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
At this time, we'll open it up for questions for Coach. To our left, Coach.
Cameron Jones with the Lexington Herald Leader. Congratulations, Julie. Obviously, you've had sustained success at Transy, and there's been teams that have had deep tournament runs before. I know it's a simple question, but why is this the team that made it all the way compared to the others?
Yeah, I think they are just slightly better defending and on the boards. And so in all of our really good teams, this was a team that was really able to lock people down on the defensive end. And, I think the zone that we play really plays to their strengths. It lets Kennedy and Maddie at the top be really, really athletic. It lets Deja roam to rebound a little bit, and she does a great job holding down her side. And then Emily and Lakin, they do a great job defending inside. And Sydney, obviously, she's so fast. She can keep anybody in front. And so that is what we've, always relied on. And the first half, I think, the first quarter, it took us a little bit. We gave up a couple shots in transition. We haven't, it's probably been 6 or 7 games, and maybe twice all year we've had a team push at the sideline. And so we were a little late on a couple of those coverages. But I think once we got that kind of settled down, I held them to 6 in the second quarter and 11 in the third. And that's been the target all year, try to keep everybody to 11 and a quarter. And so I was really proud because Christopher Newport obviously scores a lot in a lot of different ways. And so to have 2 quarters that we just fell back on, this is who we are, and we're going to get stops. And, they do a good job of understanding what we're going to give up each game. Obviously in the zone, you can't take everything away. And did a great job on, 15. She's just an unbelievable athlete. But we're able to keep finding her on the perimeter and making those things hard. And so, I think that's the big difference between them and on the court in terms of their X's and O's. But as people, they're just competitors. And they hate to lose, and they don't lose very often. And I think that mentality has carried us any time that we've struggled.
And to our right.
Coach Corey Hogue, Dave Campbell's Texas Basketball. It's been 2 weeks since the semifinal game. What have been some of the challenges and possibly some advantages of having that much time between the games?
Yeah, we actually thought there was a lot of advantages. Christopher Newport plays this awesome style of pressing and picking you up a lot of different ways. And so to have 2 weeks where we were able to really focus on that, and I thought, by the time we were in the game today, if you had seen a few of the practices, you'd have thought we were never going to get the ball down the floor. And they did an amazing job. We tried to make it as hard as we could make it. We played 5-on-12 over and over and over to make every pass hard. And we wanted them to feel like many times in the game it was easier than what it's been the last week. And so, that was for us, honestly, the biggest advantage. It gave us a lot of time to prepare for a team that does things differently and some time to rest and get our legs back under us after, the first 5 NCAA games.
Coach, we're staying to our right in the back.
Coach Riley Zayas, D3Hoops.com. You're so poised on the sidelines. Your team really seems to follow that lead. How important was that, both in when you guys were playing from behind as well as when you guys were playing with the lead there in those final minutes?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of trust in this group, and one of the great things about the upperclassmen is they really can coach it on the court, and they do a great job every day in practice of understanding what we're doing and why we're doing it. And it's a group that's a pretty excitable group, and so I don't think we want to add into the excitable as a coaching staff. I think we're usually trying to calm them down, and so. On the sidelines, it matters to us that, every time they come over, they're just getting instructions. And it's pretty rare with this group. They just go so hard. You're never really coaching, energy or emotion. You're just always coaching the X's and O's, and that's one of the reasons they're really successful is they come ready to play. And so then you're just trying to figure out, how can we adjust things? And they're really good at taking that and going.
Coach, we're staying to our right.
Coach, I was hoping, I know you've had the joy to the journey as the mantra this year. Can you talk a little bit about your journey, building a program on the West Coast at Lewis and Clark and then coming back to the Midwest, building this program up to a national title contender and now winning one with a perfect season? What's it been like?
Yeah, I'm just really grateful. Anytime you get to do this career, there's just so much time, energy, and effort by so many people, and Tim Weitzel, he's back there. He and I have coached together for 19 years. And I thought he was an unbelievable mentor back when I was making plenty of mistakes, and has helped guide the entire way. And and our current coaching staff, they no doubt could do this without me. I am very confident in that. And I think this is the pinnacle that everybody is trying to get to. But at the end of the day, 10 years from now, I want them to be able to look back and be really grateful for the entire experience. And the joy in the journey mattered because we played a lot of really good teams this entire way, and it could have gone differently with many of those games. And while this was the goal, we didn't want this to be the only thing that decided whether the last 6 months had been worth it and good and a valuable part of our lives.
Coach, we're shifting to our left.
Cameron Drummond with the Lexington Herald Leader. Julie, back in Lexington, they got people at the Kentucky Theater watching this. The send-off you guys had, the red carpet today. Just what do you think it's meant to the community and Transylvania University for what you and the women you've coached have accomplished here this week?
Well, on the way walking here, somebody showed me one of the watch parties. Honestly, it's pretty overwhelming in some levels to see what this group has been able to do across the state. There were watch parties going on, across the country with this group. And to have as many people that came today, our team does an awesome job of, being there for all the other sports on campus, and to see that pay off with all the things that they do and to get the return love. We were very tight with the volleyball team, and they all came down. When I walked out and saw them holding the flag, I had to hold back tears again. It's a compliment to this group to have so much support. They've just been awesome anytime we put them out in the community. And so to be able to do this for the first time in Transylvania, Dr. Holly Shealy is, I'm sure, the best athletic director in the country, and getting to work for her on a daily basis and being able to make sure she has a national championship on her resume too, that matters a lot to all of us. And we are super grateful for all the support.
Any additional questions for Coach? Seeing none, thank you, Coach. Congratulations again.
Thank you all. Thanks for being here, you guys.
The locker room is still open until 2:12 p.m. A recording of this press conference and written transcript is available and will be posted in the NCAA's digital hub at www.ncaa.veritone.com.
Sorry for the late switch. No problem. Kenzie doesn't normally want to do it, but she was in tears and said she'd do it today. So.
That was awesome. Congratulations.
You're going to do it. You need to do it when you go out and win her.
That's right.
Thank you, guys.
No
Really
problem.
appreciate it.
Safe travels back.
Yeah, thank you.
Is Hannah still around?
Thank you. I didn't want her to go. I was like...
I had talked to, I guess it was the SID.